Here's how I made a really chill and relaxed TRAPSOUL modern R&B beat for people like Bryson Tiller. Let's start with the melody. The base of the melody consists of 3 different sounds all playing the same chord progression: D minor, A minor and A sharp major. An absolute game changer to give your chord progressions a super fancy R&B feeling is converting some of your minor chords to major, like I did here. The A major at the end of the bars fits super well, even though the C sharp isn't even the key of D minor. Now you should always stick to the scale of your key, especially if you're struggling with music theory, but especially in R&B music you can often experiment and have the freedom to play around with some notes and get some really nice results. The first layer is the Steinway piano from Keyzone Classic. I turned down the velocity to make it sound really gentle, and I do this in basically every R&B beat. With an EQ I cut out some low and reduced subtle high frequencies. The second layer is a preset from Iota Mini called Pad Sprite Halo without any processing. And the third layer is the piano pad preset from Flex, but I turned up the mix of some effects in the plugin itself. So from this to this. And added EQ to drastically cut out lows and highs and reverb for space. Obviously we need a bass element, but since this is a chill R&B TRAPSOUL beat, I didn't use a strong 808, but I used a deep soft re-space instead. I made it in Vital by adding a 7-voice saw wave with chorus and a high pass EQ to a simple sine wave as a sub bass. Using Maximus I also changed the sub frequencies to be mono to make it sound a little bit cleaner. What makes the melody really come to life, however, is this vocal melody loop called Take Me Somewhere from the Cymatic Infinity vocal collection. I pitched it a lot higher and added an EQ, stereo shaper and a ton of reverb to make it fit well into the beat. The vocal only plays at certain parts of the beat though. Now let's move on to the drums and the chorus. I used a pretty strong kick very sparingly to leave a lot of room and not make everything too chaotic. On the 2 and 4 I put a trap-like snare enhanced with a bit of reverb. It also plays 2 offbeat notes at the end of the bar with less velocity for more interesting movement. The main movement, however, comes from the hi-hat. It's definitely the star of the show. As you can see, instead of making a boring 2-step hi-hat pattern, I only placed a few strong notes, played with the kicks and some lower offbeat ones. In between those I added rolls with velocity changes to fill some space where it felt right. On the master I added free clip to add a subtle clipping layer on top of the whole beat and improve the dynamics. It sounds really nice, it's a really cool trick. Here's a comparison. The last thing I added to this beat is a perk loop in the intro. I made it myself very easily by using some shakers and a rim shot. The loop itself doesn't sound great though, but the EQ and especially the tons of reverb make it fit in perfectly. I created a filter automation for the intro to create some tension and not introduce the full melody instantly. And don't forget smooth transitions here and there to connect 2 parts better. Just be careful you don't overdo it. But that's already it, so here's the final result. And if you found this helpful, I'd appreciate you joining the community by subscribing and help me grow my channel.